From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Digicel. Cayman's bigger, better network. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is For the Record.
For the Record. 1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees. So fair. Today is the 7th day of June 2024, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, we urge you to please be extremely cautious, whether you are a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating in a type of motorized vehicle. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road, because the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday to you as well. And to remind you that this segment of the For the Record birthday shoutouts brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shoutouts. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And by Superior Auto. Superior Auto, they keep your car in tune. Call them at 949-9570 or 525-9571. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we do wish you a speedy recovery. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads and wet roads this morning of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open this morning. It is the radio voice of Silver Fox, Mr. Paul Akal, waiting to take your calls. You can try calling us on our toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. Other numbers are 949-8037, 949-6990, or WhatsApp number 925-3261. We have no guests in the studio this morning yet. We're trying to have something arranged, but there was a little hiccup with that, so unfortunately that did not materialize. So the phone lines will be open for the entire period until 10 o'clock to allow you to express your views, share your thoughts and concerns with us as well. Meanwhile, let's look at some of the birthday shout-outs. And if you know someone who's celebrating a birthday today or celebrated one over the past few days, or if we'll be celebrating one during the weekend or any other momentous occasion as well, please share that information with us. 925-3261 is our WhatsApp number. And we see, for instance, that Miss Elsa Borden, she celebrated her birthday yesterday, her 90th birthday yesterday, Miss Elsie Borden. And birthday greetings are going out from Miss Cordella Chalette and family, and the Connor family as well, and all of her friends over there in Tropical Gardens also, Miss Elsie. Those of you who go way back will know that Miss Elsie was married to Mr. Cullen Borden. They lived on Shedden Road, right behind where the farm soldier, Mr. Patterson, had his store as well. And so, Miss Elsie, we hope and we trust that you had a beautiful 90-year anniversary yesterday. Also, we see that belated birthday greetings going out to Ventisha McLean and her mother, Miss Jenny, and those birthday greetings are coming from family overseas. Other birthdays today, we see Mr. Anthony Clark celebrating his birthday. Janelle Ellis, Amanda Jimenez Rich, Ashley Connolly, and Stacy Ann Kelly. They are all celebrating birthdays today as well. Again, I want to give Miss Elsie a big shout out, belated happy birthday to her, 90 years old yesterday. One of the most beautiful, friendliest person on Shedden Road, Miss Elsie Borden. Oh, if you meet that lady, you will marvel, at her, how beautiful she is, how friendly she is. Miss Elsie, hope you live to see many more as well. We do have a caller, but Paul, rather than having to interrupt for the commercial break, we take the quick commercial break, ask the caller to hold on, and we will take the call as soon as we return. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Captain Charles Christopher Bush, 1864 to 1942. Captain Charles Christopher Bush was known to be one of the best turtle fishing pilots around the Nicaraguan coast, especially at man-of-war Keys. He was the owner of 2 vessels, the Goldfish and the Diamond, and part owner of the Express, as well as captain. He employed a lot of local seamen who all liked to work on his vessels because of his honesty. After the Diamond was lost in the 1932 hurricane, Captain Bush was always in demand by other vessel owners for his skills in catching turtle. He was in partnership with J.S. Webster and in charge of what is known today as the Webster's Estate and Smith-Bacadere, Smith Cove, for more than 25 years. Colleagues urged him to acquire it by quiet possession, but he refused to do so. Just before his death, he notified Mr. Webster that he wanted to give it back, and he did. Captain Bush was married to Annie Elizabeth Nee Radon and the father of 10 children.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Magic and Wine with David Menken, Friday and Saturday, June 14th and 15th. 2 evenings of whimsical summer excitement. The elixir of magic and wine. Join David Menken, the international champion of magic, for an intimate evening of fine wine and world-class magical artistry. The Ballroom at C. Alyssa, Al and Melissa Thompson's residence. Magic and Wine, a Rotary Central fundraising event. Get your tickets through eventpro.ky. Attendees must be 18 years and over. Audio and video recording restrictions apply. The magic of Rotary.
The real magic of the Summer Olympics is closer than you think. Coca-Cola is giving you the chance to win a trip of a lifetime to the Olympic Games in Paris this summer. Just grab any 2 8-packs of Coca-Cola or Sprite products at a participating store and you could be jetting off to see the Olympics live and in person. It's an all-inclusive trip for 2. Don't miss out on the action. Find your nearest participating store and enter now. Follow the flame to caymantoparis.com.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet. Because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com. Celebrate Father's Day with Digicel. This Father's Day, give Dad the gift of better connectivity with Digicel. Switch Dad to Digicel and get 50% off the plan for the next 3 months. It's the perfect way to show your appreciation and keep Dad connected. Switching is easy. Visit your nearest Digicel store today. Don't miss out on this amazing deal. Make this Father's Day one to remember with Digicel. Better connected.
If you're a parent, you know that providing your child with a quality early childhood education can be expensive. However, the Ministry of Education offers financial assistance through its Early Childhood Assistance Program to help qualifying Caymanian families cover the costs at registered early childhood settings. Visit our online application portal at moeapplications.gov.ky to learn more and get started. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Education.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We do have a caller who's been holding for quite a while. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Connor, and happy Friday to you.
Good morning. Thank you. And the same to you as well, my dear.
Thank you. I just wanted to call and remind the public to attend the Plan Cayman meetings. Next week is Savannah and Bordentown. This week was Westby and Georgetown. I heard Westby had a really, really good turnout. I wasn't able to make it to my home district, of course, Georgetown, due to the rain, but I listened online. It was very, very engaging. So
I think Radio Cayman carried it as well.
yes, that's exactly where I listened to it on your YouTube channel, and it was very, very engaging. So it sounds like they may have had a good turnout, or engagement also. But just to encourage the public, especially Savannah and Bordentown, are two of the fastest growing districts in the Cayman Islands. So if people can remember it's virtual, I'm sure you'll pitch in with what Radio Cayman, how Radio Cayman will be covering it. But just to encourage the public to tune in and take part in this process, because it's a pivotal process that's available, being offered for the Cayman Islands now, especially where we're at. So I just wanted to pitch that. I may call back later in the program before 10 if I think of something else.
Okay. Well, I'm going to hold your feet to the fire now, actually, because I have about 8 minutes before we go to our 8 o'clock news, and we don't have any other caller on hold yet. So, you spoke about Bordentown and Savannah being important, but you see the intrusion that is now taking place in the district of East End. East End and North Side are the two districts where we still have quite a quantity of and quality undeveloped land. But we see the intrusion taking place. We see the news in the papers, about the planning issues, the clearing of land, and the number of house lots that they're talking about developing in those areas. So, when is this crazy development trend going to stop? And we hope that if we do get a viable development plan, that it is put in place ASAP.
Well, I hope that the development, if the trend continues, that it will be in the favor of our Caymanian people, to be quite honest, because the expense and value of property these days, Caymanians are being pushed further and further into the eastern districts or over to the BRAT, and those properties are still becoming at a price where they're not as available as they used to be either. So I'm hoping if the trend the trend could continue as long as it's our favor, our people's favor. It's unfortunate that we have to find ourselves going further and further to the eastern districts, but those are historical districts also, and it would be great if the government, whether this government and successive governments coming ahead, whoever that may be next election, next administration, can plan. And the public, this is a good time to get out and speak about this, to plan, to ask our government to stand firm in ensuring that these developed areas are being preserved for Caymanians, and I mean indigenous local Caymanians, not I'm sorry to say, but not people that acquire permanent residence, and then because those properties are being bought up very fast for people who are acquiring permanent residence. I won't say too much about this article in the paper where this developer went ahead and developed land.
It's still sub judice to a certain extent, yeah.
Right, yes, sir. But I was appalled to read it. I'm not sure. It doesn't seem like it would be in favor of Caymanians. I don't know who I don't remember who the developer is, but it doesn't seem like it would be in favor of Caymanians. And it's sad that Caymanians can no longer pay down a deposit on a piece of property and pay over a period of time and accumulate some equity and start building out of their pockets and then go to the bank. Traditionally how Caymanians used to do it. So it's sad that we're at that stage. We can't do that either. But I do want to implore our present government, and I mean the sitting government and the opposition, to collectively work together, and our next administration, whoever those may be, to please pay attention to the development. I know the ministry has put this consultation period out there, but we also want to make sure that it stays in place and it is paid attention to.
Mm-hmm.
Voters, you need to hold candidates or whoever are elected accountable. Every other country in the world, politicians are held accountable for their voting promises, their campaign promises, and when they get in there. And Cayman is one of the jurisdictions that I don't see that happening, and that is why what's happening in our country is happening. We need to preserve for us, and I know you're very, very strong with that, Mr. Connor. You were the head of immigration, and you did a splendid job there. In fact, I'd love to interview you one day, about that. And we need to look back at some of those past laws that pertain to immigration and try to re-implement some of those, because they definitely would apply to today's Cayman Islands, you know.
Yep.
So
Thank you very much.
Yes,
and we
okay.
look forward to, the phone lines will be open when we return from the 8 o'clock news as well. So we look forward to you calling back and we can talk some more. Thank you very much, caller.
Thank you.
I think we have another caller on hold. We're going to try to grab that caller before 8 o'clock. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, I went over last night and forced almost Dr. McField to go to that meeting at the town hall.
Okay. How was the turnout?
Yeah, it was a great turnout. A lot of serious Caymanian questions. I mean, really, people was even getting a little aggressive and getting their point across, because they were trying to throw them a 2-minute time to talk, and the Caymanians, indigenous Caymanians I'm talking about, were telling them, hey, in 2 minutes I got a lot to say about this. So, but the lady that just called, I can tell her one thing. This is not going to stop OC about these developments until our politicians decide to follow Dr. McField them findings and advice about buying property to ascertain 60 points to be able to apply for Cayman status.
Yeah.
See, the development, because now I'm hearing that the politicians are being approached with this proposal to them as, hey, who's going to buy our apartments? Who's going to buy our apartments? We have developed to sell these apartments to people who can use it to get status. That's the reason why people are buying up property, OC, and buying up apartments. So until that is stopped, OC, or we put something in there where like Canada just implemented, where outsiders cannot buy property. Philippines also have that. A lot of places have that. So, OC, until that happens, this development thing not gonna stop.
True, I agree.
And all the land gonna get out of the reach of the Cayman people, because it's such a big demand for property to use for PR. That is how they can drive the price up out of the reach of the local Cayman guy who wants to get a property.
Yeah, and they're coming at your district now. They're coming after your district.
Yeah, I see that. But we need to put up a fence now. We need to be like Trump. We need to put up a fence, a wall.
Or secede from the union. Make East End a completely separate state.
Separate state, completely. West used to brag back in the day about being a republic.
Yes.
We need to do something, because I see some big properties now. We'll see, like, you drive through, you see the properties, the roads that are being pushed in.
Yep.
And see, and already Easterners are complaining that that property bought by so-and-so, that property bought by so-and-so. It's already happening, see.
Yeah, got about 10 seconds left, but I hope you plan on calling back. I hope you plan on calling back later on. The phone lines will be open. Had a little hiccup this morning. I actually, was going to have Dr. McField on, and then thought I had another booking, and then that sort of like got a little bit confused, so I didn't want to call him at the last.
Well, I had him out late last night,
Oh, wow.
I went to the office and got him and took him to the meeting, and the meeting didn't finish until 9. So he didn't got home till about around 10.
One quick question: are they recording those meetings as well? They're recording them.
I think the only recording I would think would be your radio station, because they were broadcast.
Okay.
Keep letting the people know. Oh, you got to speak up because it's being recorded.
Because I don't know if you heard. I don't know if you heard my suggestion on Wednesday about using Clydas and Carson. The government should engage them because they're experts. They're former directors of planning, and they should engage them to in each district set certain days, certain times for people to come in, and they take note of what people's concerns are. Put that in a document for each district and present that to government. We're always employing experts, but we should do that. I want to talk more about that after the 8 o'clock news. I'm a minute and a half over, so I got to go. Folks, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Radio Cayman time check now, 8:01. This time check brought to you by our friends at Foster's.
It's time to start preparing for this year's hurricane season, and Foster's has the essentials you need to weather a storm.
Stock up on canned goods, non-perishable foods, water, health and first aid items, pet supplies, flashlights, and other hurricane kit essentials.
Start preparing now using our online hurricane guide and emergency checklist. Just head to fosters.ky for more info. You can also follow us at Foster's Cayman on Facebook and Instagram for helpful tips throughout the season.
Foster's, better because we care.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. Public consultation sessions for Plan Cayman, the National Development Plan planning statement, continued in Georgetown and Constitution Hall Thursday night.
Time is running out. Land is running out. Our environment is going to hell. And I have a child that I want to leave something to. So I want this to work. I just want to know what confidence you can give us that you're serious about this and that the government is serious about this.
Radio Cayman is carrying the events live with the next one scheduled for June 10th at Savannah United Church starting at 7 p.m. You can get more details on the consultation schedule and how you can get involved providing your feedback on the National Development Plan, the previous document dating back to 1997, by visiting plancayman.ky. The closing date for comments is July 30th. The Cayman Islands Annual Foreign Trade Statistics Report 2023 reveals that the country's visible trade deficit expanded by more than $23 million. The report shows the total value of Cayman's importation of goods stood at $1.53 billion for 2023, an increase of 2% over the year before. This was mainly due to jumps in non-petroleum imports by more than $1.3 billion, an increase of 3.6% over the previous year. A nearly 9% increase was seen in food and live animals for things like fruits and vegetables, meat, dairy products, and eggs. Miscellaneous manufactured articles grew by almost 7%, with increases seen in clothing, photographic apparatus, equipment, and supplies, along with optical goods. In contrast, beverages and tobacco fell by just under 4% due to fewer imports of both non-alcoholic and alcoholic beverages. Also, manufactured goods, classified chiefly by materials, and crude materials both fell by 9% and 14% respectively. The dip reflected, quote, lower imports of iron and steel, manufacturers of metals, as well as cork and wood manufacturers. The decline in crude materials was driven mainly by a drop in the importation of crude fertilizers and textiles. Petroleum and petroleum-related imports fell by 7.1% to reach $215 million. The drop was driven by lower average prices of fuel imported in 2023. And the National Trust raises more than $30,000. Radio Cayman's Jevy Ebanks has the details.
A night at the museum, Dive into Cayman's maritime heritage on May 22nd was held at Cayman Collection Center, featuring maritime artifacts and historical items, drawing attention to Cayman's storied past. Distinguished guests included Minister of Sustainability and Climate Resiliency, the Honorable Catherine Ebanks Wilkes, and members of various maritime associations. who shared seafaring memories with attendees. The evening was marked by music, storytelling, and an auction that, along with generous donations, raised more than $30,000 Cayman dollars for heritage conservation. The National Trust expressed gratitude to all contributors, including local businesses and volunteers, for their support. The funds will help preserve the Cayman Islands' natural and built heritage and the protection of significant maritime sites for future generations. Jevi Ebanks, Radio Cayman News.
Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller.
BBC News, I'm John Shea. The British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has apologised for leaving Normandy before the main event at the D-Day commemorations to record an election campaign interview. Mr Sunak said, on reflection, it had been a mistake. Opposition parties say it was a shameful dereliction of duty. President Biden has apologised to his Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky for a large package of military aid having been delayed by some Republicans in Congress. But in their talks in Paris, the US president stressed that Washington was not going to walk away from Ukraine. Germany has introduced checks on all its borders until the end of the European Football Championship in mid-July. They're meant to keep out violent football hooligans from abroad and Islamist terror cells. Israeli forces have continued to strike Rafah from the air and the ground as efforts to secure a ceasefire in Gaza show no sign of a breakthrough. Residents in Rafah say there have been fierce battles between Israeli troops and Hamas-led fighters. The UN Secretary-General, Antonio Guterres, has condemned recent attacks by Myanmar's military, which reportedly killed scores of civilians in western Rakhine state. Residents have accused the army of killing at least 50 people. And that's the latest BBC World News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin are the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet, because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Hey, the first all-in-one bundle is here. Join Flow Mania today and get 1 gig broadband, insanely fast 5G and Wi-Fi backup to keep you going for as little as $159 CI dollars. For more information, head to a Flow store near you, or you could go to discoverflow.co.
The mission of the National Conservation Council and the Department of Environment is to ensure our islands consider responsible use of our natural resources while preserving our native species and habitats for future generations. Learn more at conservation.ky.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcade, where people come first.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. If you're going to invest in an exotic pet, choose anything but a Norwegian forest cat. Apparently, they will eat all your jewelry. Before you know it, you're racing to the vet when your cat escapes from his carrier and lunges for your earrings. You crash and your cat swallows your pearls. But if you're smart, you'll have CG Motor Insurance and get the best comprehensive coverage for the price.
Get the best comprehensive coverage for the price. CG Britke. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
Once again, good Friday morning, Keyman, 10 minutes after 8 o'clock. This is your 8 a.m. weather update, courtesy of our friends at CG Britke. Present temperature about 84 degrees Fahrenheit, but it feels like about 90. Winds are out of the southeast at 12 miles per hour. Relative humidity about 87%. Barometric pressure is at 29.85 inches and dropping. Excessive moisture over the Western Caribbean being advected into the Cayman area will support cloudy skies and an increased chances for showers, which may be locally heavy at times with some thunder over the next few days. Our forecast for today calls for cloudy skies with a 60% chance of the afternoon shower and some thunder. Showers may become locally heavy at times. Possible flooding in low-lying areas is expected. Temperatures will rise to the upper 80s. Winds will be south to southeast at 5 to 10 knots with higher gusts. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Looking at later tonight, cloudy skies with a 40% chance of showers and possible thunder. Temperatures will fall to the upper 70s. Winds will be south to southeast at 5 to 10 knots and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. High tide is coming up in the next hour at 9:41. It's going to be low at 4:11 this afternoon, high at 11:14 tonight. The outlook is for similar weather conditions through Monday morning. That, my friends, is your latest weather update.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by CG Britke, where people come first.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips for all occasions and celebrations. Let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
Very quickly, let's take a look at the traffic situation. Of course, looking at the east-west arterial, traffic seems to be flowing until getting to the Red Bay roundabout or just past it. We'll run into some traffic still moving along, some going through South Sound. There is some free flow until getting nearer to Walker's Road. And those going up to Walker's Road halfway should run into some slow-moving traffic. Some of those going through South Church Street into Seafarers Way, North Church Street as well. Expect some moderate traffic in that area. Looking at streets inside Georgetown, Edward Street, some slow-moving traffic as you negotiate around the construction area. Shannon Road, seeing some moderate traffic as well as the traffic pours into the Georgetown area. Huldah Avenue is similar with slow-moving traffic in the northern direction towards the CMB roundabout. And of course, at the Butterfield roundabout, we expect the usual traffic in that area. I don't know who keeps switching the camera views on me. Heading towards the airport, light traffic along Roberts Drive. Heading back to the Butterfield roundabout, some slow-moving traffic coming off the Astley Tibbetts. Northtown Road seeing some slow-moving traffic as well. And of course, traffic heading towards the Butterfield roundabout, which is expected this time of the morning. West Bay Road, looking down from the Ritz-Carlton, more traffic as you make your way into the Georgetown area heading into work this morning. Buckle up and stay safe, my friends. Cayman Brock, Lil Cayman, how you doing this morning time? Enjoy the weekend when it comes. That's your latest traffic reports.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Quality of sleep is vital for maintaining good mental and physical health. Sleeping helps repair and restore our brains, not just our bodies. Sleep apnea is a condition that causes you to stop breathing while you sleep. To protect you, your brain wakes you up so you can resume breathing again. Did you know men are more at risk along with elderly and those overweight? Symptoms can include loud snoring, difficulty staying asleep, waking up short of breath, and fatigue, among many others. If it goes untreated, sleep apnea can cause serious health complications, but with medical assistance can be mitigated and even avert the risk of more serious complications.
Your health tip was brought to you by Total Health, comprehensive preventative health care in the Cayman Islands.
Water Authority Cayman wishes to advise its customers of a planned service interruption and lane closure on Siberia Avenue area on Monday, 10th June to facilitate infrastructure maintenance in the area. Customers on Siberia Avenue will experience a service interruption between the hours of 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. A section of the northbound lane on Siberia Avenue will be closed from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Flagmen will be on site to direct traffic. The Water Authority appreciates the patience and understanding of its customers and the public as it upgrades its water infrastructure and apologizes for any inconvenience caused.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio, so we will have the phone lines open all morning. We have 2 callers, and I want to encourage you all to keep the calls coming in, even though, there are a few things I want to talk about. For instance, the article by in Cayman News Service about the unexpected Georgetown Road closure yesterday that caused traffic chaos in Georgetown, and the fact that we have so many communicators within the CIG now, Cayman Islands government. You have the wider communications group, then you have each ministry basically, have their own communications person as well. And it seems as if somebody went to sleep at the wheel. So, want to talk, about that at some point in time, as well. But meanwhile, we want to hear from you. So let's go to the 2 callers. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. I think it's very appropriate that you talk about communications, and I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts. I wanted to touch back on the Plan Cayman district meetings that they've been holding.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been to the West Bay one that was on the 4th of June, and I also attended the Georgetown meeting that occurred last night.
Okay.
There were notable differences. They have seemingly restricted the audience to only asking 1 question per person. There's a time limit on those questions, and I think that that's really interesting because at the end of the day, I think the reason why so many Caymanians are so vocal in these meetings and require more than 2 minutes to communicate their concerns and their questions is because the elected members of parliament are not regularly and consistently hosting or holding town hall meetings.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I attended the West Bay meeting, and at the start of the meeting, I asked if there were any West Bay members of parliament that were in the meeting, specifically because I was asking the question if they were planning to host any smaller, like constituency district meetings surrounding the Plan Cayman drafted statement.
Uh-huh.
No one was there at that time, so there was silence. Later on, I believe MP Catherine Wilkes and MP Bernie Bush attended. I didn't hear any responses specifically about holding more meetings at a district MP level. I think it's not enough to only have 1 meeting for each district, given that Georgetown is a very big district.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And if we have to have multiple representatives just to cover the needs of Caymanians, then certainly more than 1 meeting before the July 30th deadline to give feedback would be appropriate.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm not a planner in terms of development. I just try to follow along as best as I can. And the Plan Cayman drafted statement is approximately 30 pages. However, as I don't have that type of education, there's a lot of the content that I'm reading, and I have many, many, many questions. So only being allowed to ask 1 question per person was a bit of a challenge. I did follow up at the end of the meeting because I was cut off when I asked if we email questions to the Plan Cayman team,
mm-hmm.
what kind of response can we expect in terms of timeliness?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I understand that each question carries its own set of potential challenges. Some questions might be easier to answer than others. But given the short deadline to give feedback, it's really important, first and foremost, that we understand what we are being asked to give feedback on. If we are meant to have an educated conversation, if true dialogue is really what the government is asking from its people, we simply need more time. We need more resources to be able to ask questions and have those answers documented in a way that we can understand them. We were told that we could show up at government admin building without an appointment. We were told that we could ask for someone in Plan Cayman and they would be happy to meet with us and ask questions during business hours. I think it was said earlier in your show that, we should be able to maybe set up meetings or appointments. I just simply think we need more meetings in general. And the reason why we are having these challenges, staying focused and making sure we're concise with our questions, is because there's a lot of frustration around the fact that the existing laws that we presently have are not being enforced. So there are people that are destroying mangroves, illegally dumping. It's become completely standard, I believe, to just basically do what you want, ask forgiveness later, because it can be an expected budgeted line item that you're just going to pay a penalty fee and you can get on with your development. I actually do not blame the developers. Who I put the responsibility at the feet of are our elected MPs because they are the legislators. Their responsibility is to draft and pass these laws that should protect the Cayman Islands. Now, I realize that the Caymanians are a minority in the country. It's been confirmed. I think we represent about 30% of the country. And I am by no means trying to say that people don't count. Everybody, if they are legally here, they count. However, in the Plan Cayman document, and I understand why, there is no reference whatsoever to Caymanians. They talk about the community. They talk about future generations. Future generations, I don't know who they're talking about because they're not talking about Caymanians. I did ask the question in terms of prioritization and that sort of thing, and in the meeting it was said, everyone is the priority. I think that's quite a shockingly truthful statement, but I'm not sure that everyone is the priority, and I'm really urging, especially Caymanians, if you haven't seen this 30-page document, please just take the time to download it from your desktop, to at least review it and write down all of your questions. We don't have a lot of time to do this, and I know and I believe firmly that this is not intended to collect genuine, meaningful feedback. I think it is just a box that they need to check so that they can get on to the next stage. One of the stages that it needs to get to is it needs to be presented and passed in Parliament. Once that happens, if we don't understand what their plan is, then I don't know how we can give feedback on it. If we don't understand what their plan is, I don't see how we can understand what future we as Caymanians have. Additionally, it was acknowledged throughout the Plan Cayman statement that population growth is a problem. I'm not sure how you can effectively plan for a country when you don't know what your population goal is, and that's not really up to the planning authority. That's up to our representatives to communicate with us.
Yeah.
We don't know what that magic number is, and it's quite frustrating that what's really happening is this. MPs, elected district representatives, they are negating their responsibility to engage with their community, to host and hold meetings, to realize that Caymanians are so busy working, trying to find work, trying to educate their children, trying to support their families, that it becomes very difficult to just suddenly say, okay, well, I can put these 3 hours aside, because with traffic, getting to the meeting, participating in the meeting, and then getting home, you could be giving up 4 hours of your life.
Caller, do you believe that two questions I have for you. Do you believe that they're playing on some of the quote-unquote weaknesses of Caymanians, knowing quite well that sometimes Caymanians are reluctant to put pen to paper, and that is why short meetings. The encouragement is for you to respond online, knowing quite well that some Caymanians will do that, but others may not. That's a question, and I just want to point out that the Cabinet Office in the past has shepherded two important pieces of, one was legislation. The other one was the most important document in the Cayman Islands, which was our 2009 Constitution, right?
Correct.
Those things were done through the Cabinet Office by establishing a secretariat for it. Have they indicated how many staff members are with the Plan Cayman group that can give their undivided attention to the issue of this document and absolutely nothing else?
I couldn't answer that question. They may have, and perhaps I missed it. It is unclear to me who are the dedicated resources. I can say that the same people that showed up to the West Bay meeting were the same people that showed up at the Georgetown meeting.
Mm-hmm.
My understanding is that maybe not all of the panel will be the same panel throughout all the districts. So it's unclear to me. I do think, to answer your question, that what they are doing is they are definitely playing on the fact that they just want to get through the process. And if it was a true consultation, I don't understand if all of this business started, I think, in 1971 or 1977, and you would know better than me. If multiple government administrations have been allowed to take this long to do something, and I don't think anybody will disagree. Yes, we need a plan. Caymanians want a plan. But I do think if they've taken this long to get not very far, I don't see what the problem would be in extending the public consultation period. I realize the law says there's a certain amount of time, but I've also seen the government put through extensions on public consultation.
Precisely.
What's confusing to me is every time they say something like, "Oh, well, this is what this is what's required of us," I sit there and go, "Well, if there's the power to put the public consultation in, there's the power for the MPs to extend the public consultation period." I also find it quite frustrating when I'm seeing some of the MPs show up to these meetings, and the way that they're talking is almost as if they have nothing to do with being legislators.
Well, in all fairness, though, if I was a member of Parliament, unless I'm on, on the head table on the platform, I'm not sure whether or not I would necessarily attend the meeting as well, because then I'd become the center, of attraction. But what I would have done if I were a representative would be to ensure that my constituency office was available for me to either collect the views of my constituents or, but I as a politician, some of them I can understand their reluctance, not wanting to be a target. Caller, in respect of the other caller that we have on call, I'm going to ask you, to leave us there, but please feel free to call back, because I think what we want to talk more about is the process, because I don't think that, on air we can solve the whole issue of the plan itself, but the process is important now, because that is what is in place. And I've made suggestions before, and I'm going to continue to push that suggestion as well. So please feel free to call back. We're going to take
one closing note, if that's okay.
Sure, very quickly, please.
I just want to say thank you to the government for having Radio Cayman coverage at last night's meeting, and I hope that is a standard that they continue throughout all of the districts and our sister islands, so that even if people can't physically attend the meetings, they can listen online and they can listen through Radio Cayman. And I just want to say thank you for allowing the call, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much. You do the same as well. We do still have another caller on hold. Quick commercial break. When we return, the conversation will continue. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Stay ahead with Total Health for all your healthcare needs. Their state-of-the-art facility offers specialist consultations, diabetes and weight loss, women and child, ophthalmology, ENT, dental, orthopedics, physiotherapy, on-site laboratory, imaging and pharmacy all under one roof. Total Health also provides comprehensive health checks for women, children, men and senior citizens. Conveniently located in the Grand Pavilion on 7 Mile Beach Corridor. Experience a new era of preventive care in the Cayman Islands with Total Health. Because everyone deserves healthier living. Visit totalhealth.ky today and empower your well-being.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
This is For the Record.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're going to our next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome. Thanks for being so patient.
Good morning, Mr. O.C. How you doing?
I'm fine. Good morning. How are you?
And you was coming from the Bluff Road this morning, not the Butler, man.
Okay. Getting any rain over there?
Oh, yeah. Beautiful showers, man. But it stopped now. We got hot sun, but more coming later.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to agree with that lady, what she was saying. I know what I call about, but I have a remedy that or a saying that I picked up from time I was in the fire department, you know. No consultation, no solution. And that is our government. That is our government, OC. Because when you stop and think of like what I later saying, it reminds me so much of when the people the high ups would come from Grand Cayman to how the meetings here on the block, you know, in government. And while they're sitting how in the meeting, they would say, ain't nobody got a question. And when I, especially me, because I'm an outspoken person, when I open my mouth to say what I have to say to help everybody or defend everybody or to make things go better, then they say, okay, all right, we moving on. That is our government. That is the way that they deal with stuff. Once they put something out there and they have these meetings, they only want to know that they did what they part to have these meetings. And once they get there, they cut you off. That's why they say 1 minute. Oh, see, very little people can speak what they have to speak rightfully from their mind in 1 minute. So I would advise those people, because I know sooner or later they're coming up here. I think it in July or sometime they're coming up here. For the rest of the meetings in Grand Cayman. Those people have to change their attitude and realize that people have to voice their opinion. If they know that these meetings are run on late by people voicing a 5-minute opinion, have their meeting start earlier because they know people can voice their opinions, that we can get some consultation throughout these islands, some solution throughout these islands, resolved. And if it don't work that way, and they limiting people to 1 minute to say what they have to say, nothing is going to be resolved. What's going to get resolved is them that implemented whatever they're doing. They're going to get the results, and the people outside not going to see no results. Like your friend was saying just now, he need put up a wall, block him from his end. I will tell him, it's too late for that, my friend. It is too late. The people when they had a chance to stand up, it's too late. I was in Grand Cayman a few weeks ago, and when I drove through, I didn't even realize that I was in East End. While I was seeing, I couldn't believe that is East End. I was totally blown away with the development that I'm seeing there. And that's what I called about this morning, OC, is the way that planning implements things against the Caymanians, but not against the foreign investors that come into these islands. Again, I just want to say, when I was telling you some weeks ago there, last week I think it was, about up on the bluff, planning had regulations and restrictions about clearing. You could only clear to a certain distance away from the edge of that bluff. Now today, OC, that D9 or D10, whatever they're using, goes to the very edge. I up to now it blow me away, OC, as I said before. I don't know how that machine now went over the side. Because for them to scrape right again, I mean, when I say to the edge, OC, I went and stand and I look right over the edge. Wow. And it clean rock with that machine, scrape that rock. Wow. Planning hardened, you could not go to a certain distance, I think about 50 feet or something like that, 75 feet from the edge of the bluff. And nothing like that today is implemented in what we see in being done on the bluff. And when I listen to your friend there from Lord Sampson and what I
Lord Graham,
I mean,
and the lady, yeah,
yeah, it brings back the way that our country is sinking because the government doesn't look after the people for the islands for protection. They only looking, like what I later say, who are they building for? They're not building for the Caymanians because we cannot produce that much population. So who are they building and planning for? It ain't the Caymanians. I give you what I really wanted to say this morning, OC, was this. Government is putting in place a new school, new facilities to housing and everything on that bluff. And none of those, beside the affordable homes, were tendered out to the local contractors here on this island. No, you got to tell me that that's not a downright shame from the government comes straight down to the district admin in Cayman Brac to know that we don't have a government to help the local people to get the jobs. They're going to tender it to foreign companies to come in here to build something of that magnitude on this island, and the locals don't get a piece of the bread. I mean, OC, when I heard that, I could not believe it. And I say, you know something? I'm not a person to keep quiet. Whether they like me or whether they don't. And OC, you know what? I prefer when they don't like me. Because that's when I can do my garden and I can take care of my bottlers. Because I know they're not coming around. But it's sad to know that we have a government in the people column that they put in there people that represented us, and they don't look and take care of us first. No, see, something got to be changed in this country. And if the people don't wake up, real and truly, if the people that are listening to your show, and I know a lot of them listen to your show, especially those big shots that up in there with their fancy neckties and their fancy dresses, they're listening. But if they don't straighten up and help and watch what they're doing for the Cayman Islands instead of having fireworks and bringing turkey and bringing a case of water for people, They got a new shock coming to them if they think that it can always ride as smooth as they think. Because people are struggling here on Kim and Brock. We are not like the big cities. We can rely on a job to come here tomorrow or next week. We got to rely on a job to come once a year or see. And you got to tell me that the government couldn't tender out those jobs for the local contractors? A part of that job for the local contractors? It's sad. It's really sad. It's really sad. And they comes up with these meetings just to brush off the people and say, well, we got rid of them, let's go home now. I mean, come on, man. We are living in modern society, modern times and modern society, and this is how they got treat people on the sideline. I really and truly, sometimes I really wish I had my way with some people. I tell you the honest truth. It shows how the frustration of people, and when I was thinking some days ago about young people taking their lives, you know why young people taking their lives? I don't want to come out of topic. Because they see that they have no future in our own islands because of others coming in and taking what's supposed to be theirs. This is what causing the problem, OC. And when the people that have construction companies can't get the work, how they gonna feed their families? It is so sad to know that when you look on that bluff, the rubbish that's going on up there, for what? For who? For the millionaires and billionaires. But yet the local can't get a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
And planning has no regards of what they do. But if I go out in my front yard and put up something 4.5 feet, they come and want call me code for putting up half 6 inch onto my fence.
Yeah.
But anyway, like what old man said, let me see if I can go outside, climb up on a ladder, pull my blood pressure back.
All right.
I wish you had your friend on there this morning, but what you need to do, you need to bring Lloyd Graham on there and with the doc and sit down there and on a consultation between what we got to talk about and let's see how it works.
Yes, good idea.
Okay,
thank you very much. And before we go to the next commercial break, we certainly want to give kudos to the ministry and the government in terms of putting this consultation out there, preparing this document and putting it out there. At least they have gone much further than others have gone with it. It is the process that I believe is being questioned more than anything else, the time frame and the process. And yes, you want to make sure that it is a feather in your cap to a certain extent that you have been able to accomplish this. But, if we really want it to be impactful, then it is important that the process is done correctly as well. And what we're hearing resonating throughout everyone is that we need more time. I would add to that and say not only do we need more time, but we need a better process in terms of how they receive the comments from people, especially those persons who are either reluctant or have challenges when it comes to doing something online. And again, I will reiterate my point that get two consultants, Caymanian consultants who have been involved in the planning process, use them to help to collate the information that is being received or to get that information from the public by doing it in the districts as well. We're going to take a commercial break. I believe we do have a caller on hold. Take the commercial break. When we return, we will take the caller. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet. Because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what, though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Celebrate Father's Day with Digicel. This Father's Day, give Dad the gift of better connectivity with Digicel. Switch Dad to Digicel and get 50% off the plan for the next 3 months. It's the perfect way to show your appreciation and keep Dad connected. Switching is easy. Visit your nearest Digicel store today. Don't miss out on this amazing deal. Make this Father's Day one to remember with Digicel. Better connected.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
This is Ronnie Anglin. I work in the water sports industry. I'm concerned that our islands are at a high risk of coral bleaching and coral disease outbreaks. Rising sea levels, sea temperatures, and ocean acidification have caused catastrophic increases in the number and severity of coral bleaching events, disease, and death. Snorkeling and diving may one day not be an option. To learn more about climate risk to our islands, visit www.gov.ky/climate change policy.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're going straight to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Hello.
Yep. Good morning.
It's me again.
Me again. Go right ahead.
Before I get in, start jumping up and carrying on, OC, I want you to send birthday greetings to Tom Ramon.
Okay.
Birthday today.
Uh-huh.
And our good friend, Dean. Little Joe Dean.
Okay.
Her birthday today, too.
Excellent. So, happy birthday to both of them. Dean and Tommy Ramon. Yes.
Yeah, the King of Central.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm seeing him in quite a while.
Yeah. Oh, he's there.
Okay.
He's still there.
Okay.
Pretending to be in charge. Yeah. Oh, see, and to my good friend up there on the BRAC, Albert.
Mm-hmm.
We could include you too on the panel with me, OC, and Dr. Mark Field, but you got to ease up on the fireworks thing. If you want, you can head out on the drone show, but ease up on the fireworks. I love coming to the BRAC to do the fireworks. Mm-hmm. So Albert, ease up on that a little bit and see if we can encourage the people up there to bring me up for more fireworks. Talk to the admin guy there, Mr. Mark Tibbetts. I'm ready to come up again. So, the planning. Get back to planning.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever, like Albert said, if you build a little fence, you got to do a study for that. You got to shut him down. Anything that is essential to the indigenous Cayman people that need to be done, we got to do it always. We got to do a study. We got to do a study. Do they do a study? Do planning go and do a study on major developments like these 10-story apartments, multi-room apartments that they approve to be built? Do they do a study concerning the traffic it'll bring, the waste, and all those different?
Well, they do get input from the various governmental entities, those regulatory authorities. For instance, the fire department. They have to give their input. The National Roads Authority will also give their input and comments in relation to any development like that is taking place.
So what National Road Authority tells them? Are we planning to put in extra lane or what?
Well, they may say what they will probably do is to comment on the impact that it is likely to have and either recommend or not recommend the approval. Not that they can. I'm not sure how much clout they have in terms of the decision, but they can certainly make comments and make recommendations, recommend alterations, as well. But they do have their input. If you look, as a matter of fact, one of the Cayman News Service, I believe it is there, one of the articles there about this same development, land clearing in East End, it has an attachment that you can click on to see the minutes of the planning board meeting, and you see the document there, and you will see the comments that have been made by the various governmental regulatory agencies. So the process is there.
Well, I don't know about the process, but I know what I can tell you what the process is right now. I just came out of the Bobby Thompson roundabout, and see, it's the tow stand still, not moving, and we got a lot of extra lanes in there now. We look like the United States now with so many lanes, and it's not moving. See, it's the standstill coming into town. I just came through. Well,
that's before you get to the light.
Yeah,
I believe there's some work going. There's some work. I'm not making any excuses, but there's some work going on before you get to the credit union in the left lane there.
No, I finished. I finished from yesterday.
Okay.
I finished from yesterday.
Okay.
I just came through there.
Okay.
The traffic coming from the Eastern District to that roundabout. See, it's 3 lanes standstill, not moving.
Wow.
Okay. So I don't know what kind of study, whether there's a study, but that's being done, and what kind of results they're giving them to tell them that they can continue doing these developments. But you cannot be putting the cart before the horse. See, if these people that come here with these major developments, we need to tell them that if for you to do the development, this is what it going to cost you. This is the impact fee. We need to do this. We need to do that before you can develop that.
Let me caution you on something though. Don't blame it on when you say developers, these people that come here and want to develop. There are many Caymanians and Caymanian companies, whether they're indigenous or otherwise, that are doing a lot of the damage as well.
Yeah,
don't forget that.
I'm not blaming the developer, and just like I don't blame the drug dealer, I blame the consumer. You see, you see, because if there's no consumers, there'll be no producers. You see, so what I'm saying when I'm speaking about the people who have the authority to shut these things down or approve these things, because they'll have these appointed boards, but the appointed boards are almost controlled by the people that appoint them. So that's what I'm saying. If somebody jumps up, well, I call them most of them are suitcase developers, because they don't live here. They have no interest. The interest is the profit, that they will make from selling these apartments. And we turn around, the handkerchief head politicians turn around and will make them build these apartments so they can sell them to people who are out for taking or being a part of our heritage or our becoming Caymanian. That's the only reason a lot of them are buying these apartments. So see, I think if they were not able to get 60 points,
that was mentioned earlier this morning. Yeah,
they would not OC purchase the things that they're purchasing. They're going now as far as going to Cayman Brack with their land and Little Cayman, and where the land is much cheaper. A lot of them are not even buying the property outright. They're doing this thing where you got this payment plan, and that's how they're acquiring some of this property.
Well, the quicker we remove the property requirement from the formula for acquiring permanent residence, the better. The quicker we remove that, the better.
Or say, well, how long is too long? Remember? You remember? How long is too long? When will we do that? When will we do that?
I am told that we may see some changes coming at this sitting of our parliament.
Yeah,
I'm made to understand.
I heard, but I also got inside information that that was kicked. That came up. But
kicked down the road as well.
The people already got to a certain individual, and that might not be a part of it.
Yeah.
So we waiting to see, and I must warn them now. Election not too far away, and I gotta be campaigning hard, very hard. I gotta be very vocal because now that menu is real tight, I'm not gonna get plenty time on the radio. So. Yeah, I think we have to the planning, the whole plan, and another thing. The panel up there. Last night, I wasn't too impressed with the panel. Half, as a matter of fact, I didn't know too many people on the panel.
Okay.
I thought that. What about the minister or the chief officer and thing from planning? Wouldn't it be good too for
at least the chief officer? Yeah, definitely, and possibly the minister, even if it's a minister there for opening remarks and stuff like that, encouraging people to have their input. But those type of meetings have a tendency, when you have other persons there who attract the attention, for the focus to be directed more towards them as opposed to towards the topic, at hand. So I have to be extremely careful how it is handled. I think what we also have to realize is that we need to move away from these town hall meetings when we're trying to extract opinions and information from people and find another way to do it, personalize it. Yes, we understand the direction that government is moving, and they want you to, fill out things online and blah, blah, blah and stuff like that. But, we still need to personalize it because that's what some Caymanians want.
Yeah, and to touch on what the lady called earlier, she made a brilliant statement and asked brilliant questions last night. And for you to do that, a lot of people had their questions on their phone. It takes a little time for them to scroll through and stuff like that. So by the time that they could ask their question, the moderator was telling them that your time up. And then you had people in the audience who were saying, "Oh no, we've been timing it, and the time not up yet." So that kind of thing was going on, So,
but here's
that like a joke. That like a joke thing to me.
But here's a point: if those persons had that on their on their device, right? Then why not find a way to have that person be able to forward that again to the powers that be or to the entity that has been created to collate all of this information? Why not, provide that as well?
Yeah, but some of the indigenous Caymanians, we're not too instrumental in with words like other people.
I would say to the
to get our question across, because most of the time we make a statement.
Yeah, we tend to pontificate. Yes, we tend to pontificate.
We make a statement before we ask the question.
And we need to get away from that too as well, and realize that the setting that we're in, that you're limited in terms of time and what you can say. So find a way to say that succinctly.
Yeah. So, I think they gotta be moderated much better than that, because, like you say, this is all about, like the lady called, this should be about indigenous Caymanians, first of all.
I think what they should do, they need to find an individual, just like the government and the cabinet office did with the constitutional consultations and everything. Find an individual like we did. We found Miss Suzanne Bothwell, extremely competent individual who was the director of the secretariat. And that is how we were successful. Something like that needs to be done with this, or co-opt the services of the cabinet office, to do so as well. You know who would have been an excellent person to do this? A very competent former civil servant, Mr. Tim Hubble. I hate to call names without their permission, but we have to recognize these people. But again, use Clydas and use Carson. Use their services. I'm going to continue to hammer that home. And I want to say to those who are listening, I don't mind you if you go ahead and do it. I don't need any credit for it. Don't feel that I'm going to say, oh, you see, they stole my idea. I'm putting it out there for you to use it as well. I would be more than happy if you took it on. I don't need the credit for it. I just want to see the process succeed. Lord Graham? Got to go to that news time.
See quickly. Tell Albert, I can build a wall, but you got to put a roof on top. They're pitching up there in them little planes now like crazy. I see a jet on the airport a couple of days ago. So you got to put a roof on your wall.
Folks, top of the hour headline news. When we return, the conversation will continue. So don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
If they are talking about us,
living in your head rent-free all this time,
we must be relevant. Radio Cayman since 1976. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
The National Choir and Orchestra present Caribbean Blue at the Harkwell Theater tonight. Immerse yourselves in the vibrant rhythms and melodies of the Caribbean, from iconic themes like Pirates of the Caribbean and spirited calypso beats to beloved classics and even some rock and roll. The event is at 7:30 p.m. Divers have joined the continuing search for British broadcaster Michael Mosley after he went missing while on holiday on a Greek island. Known for his TV programs and his Just One Thing podcast, which airs on BBC Radio 4, the presenter was last seen on Wednesday. He had set off on a walk to the center of the island. Local police paused the operation late Thursday, but continued this morning with reinforcements. And a Scottish woman who allegedly inspired the stalker character Martha in hit Netflix drama Baby Reindeer is suing the streamer for defamation, negligence, and privacy violations. Fiona Harvey, who has identified herself as the woman on whom Martha is based, argued in a lawsuit that Netflix told, quote, brutal lies about her to over 50 million viewers around the world. The lawsuit, filed in a California court, seeks over $170 million in damages from Ms. Harvey. She claims the Baby Reindeer series falsely depicted her as a convicted criminal who spent time in prison for stalking. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
HSA's Urgent Care Clinic is now open 7 days per week to serve you better. Visit our dedicated team at Urgent Care Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and weekends and public holidays, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. No appointment necessary. If you are experiencing non-life-threatening symptoms and conditions such as the cold and flu, sprains and cuts, earaches, nausea and vomiting, visit Urgent Care's walk-in clinic at the main entrance of the Georgetown Hospital, now open every day. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. I believe we still have another caller on hold. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, thanks for being so patient. Good morning. Welcome.
Okay, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Those old people say your ears must be ringing.
But unfortunately, my WhatsApp isn't.
Oh.
Since Monday, I spoke to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wednesday?
Wednesday, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wednesday. Oh, today's Friday, yes. No, I've only had two persons shown interest in my offer to facilitate some meetings, but even if we don't get an extension to the time, which a number of people apparently seem to be requesting, we could put together a comprehensive document to address all the sections. So I'm looking at about, 5 to 6 people to help with the logistics of organizing the meetings. So again, anyone who's interested, my number, you can WhatsApp me on 527-1955. That's 527-1955. One or two other comments.
Sure.
A lady called in a little earlier. She made a comment that she's not a planner, but a lot of her comments it would lead you to believe that she had some exposure to planning. So I am very pleased to hear her comments. A couple of other things quickly, because I know you have other callers online and what have you.
No, you waited. You waited for quite a while, so we're going to let you have your say. Go right ahead.
Okay. One, shortly after the last election in 21, I called in. Can't remember with you or with Sterling, but I said to government at that time, if you do not get this plan amended in your first year of your administration, leading it until the last year, your chances of getting it done is 0 to none. That looks to be what's going to happen. But having said that, looking at our Planning Act, you can see the focus is on development. It's called a development and planning. So we have the regulations to sort of guide individual development, but no planning has really been done. A number of attempts have been made, but they've always been thwarted. Whether this one will be or not, time will tell. But yet the focus has always been on development, which is described under the Planning Act as anything in, on, under, or over the land. Nothing to do, like I said, population.
Yes.
I can't, in the recent past, I've been calling, let's get some population policy in place. I mean, who are we planning for? People? But if we don't know how many people we're planning for, what's the purpose of the plan?
Caller, if I could interrupt you 1 second, just to say that as a colony of the United Kingdom or British Overseas Territories, if you want to be politically correct, we have access to United Nations bodies, entities. There's one called UN Fund for Population Activities. we could have consultants come down here. We could have people come down and look at the growth. Look, crunch the numbers. Look at the growth that has taken place over a period of time, and they can tell us, some of the challenges that we're likely to see later on, even though we know many of them ourselves, and what we need to do now so that we don't reach that point. I mentioned this before, and one member who was, I think he is a member of the minimum wage review, he contacted me to ask me, what was the name of the organization again. But we should be reaching out to the UN Fund for Population Activities to get some expert, advice, from demographers and stuff like that.
Oshi, I could not agree with you more. I can't remember if you were in the service at that time, but there was a gentleman, I think he was from the UK, who had he did a manpower, it was called the manpower survey. Now, I can't recall government since that time having asked or requested for, to tender such a document to see who are we, or what kind of jobs will be out there in the next 5, 10 years. How should we be training our graduates? Some of them, yes, they finish high school, they graduate from high school, but they really can't hold a job. They're not prepared for the workforce. And that's why I keep harping that we need to extend that school age to at least 18. Once you finish high school, you do something else other than try to go out there and find a job for which, with that level of education in this day and age, the job you can hold isn't going to pay you what you think you're worth.
Yeah. Grenada has just increased their school leaving age. They have just increased it.
And again, I would digress a little bit from the original topic, but again, I'm a firm believer that we give too much vacation time to the school children, to the education system. You got 2 months or more off in summer. What are parents supposed to do with their children during that time?
Yep.
How many of them can afford $350, $400 a week on caps? Come on. Yeah. Getting back to physical planning. Yes, we need to, as many Caymanians as possible, to come out to these meetings, voice your concerns, and do whatever you have to do to make your views known. The politicians, most times, they listen when there are sufficient voices.
True.
Because they, for quote-unquote, silent minority, they have ways and means of accessing the system that a lot of, quote-unquote, the man on the street, the average person, doesn't have. So, there's a number of other things I would like to talk about, but and we have other callers, so I'm going to be respectful of them.
Okay.
And again, anyone who wants to reach me, 527-1955, WhatsApp, please.
Yeah, because those persons who genuinely want to have their views heard, if you're genuine about that and someone is putting an offer out there to you, take it up. Put your actions where your mouth is. You say that you want it done, or do you just simply want to be able to face those persons that you feel that are responsible, for it. If you really want to see change rather than just see the person and confront them, then please take up the offer that is being given to you. Thank you very much for that, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, and have a good weekend to you and all of Cayman.
Thank you very much. You do the same as well, and please stay safe, folks. We're going to take a commercial break. Another caller on hold. As soon as we return, we will take that caller, so please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers, a compounding story.
I don't think people realize how pain creeps into your life. It has a way of robbing your strength. I really don't like taking prescription medication orally.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. They understand.
When it comes to compounded medication, it's personal. So whenever there's a problem with some medication or treatments that's not working right, then a physician will call me and say, hey, they're having bad side effects from this medication.
Compounding pain cream changed the game. Made special for me. Significant pain relief in the form of a cream. That is a new experience for me.
It's changed his life.
It worked.
Ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about compounding at West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Call 914-6449.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're going straight to the phone lines. 2 callers on hold. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hi, Mr. Connor. I'm not sure if it's my turn.
It is you, yes.
Okay. I don't know who the last caller was. He had a lot of good points. I know he gave out his number, but I didn't hear it.
He's a former director of the planning department.
Okay. I just wanted to touch on the subject of, the school leaving age. Respectfully, I wasn't into agreement of Caymanians, not being prepared to enter the workforce. And my position in that, and I spoke on this a few weeks ago, is that historically, I know times have changed. And the world has changed. Human has evolved and developed. And with the introduction of more and more technology, it has made life a little bit more easier and has made training and education more accessible without actually having to even leave the islands. And I want to say that traditionally Caymanians have entered the workforce at the same school leaving age that it is at right now, and they worked their way up. They went into very senior managerial positions, heads of departments, heads of organizations and businesses. And I don't see where that should necessarily have to change. And I don't. I know we have had in the public service many quote unquote acting positions, and those persons were placed in those positions without experience. How are our people are able to get experience if they don't get into the positions? And many of those positions have already been in existence. So what our people would do is, shadow whoever is in those positions and gain that experience. There will never be a time to gain experience until you get into the position to start gaining the experience, whether you have the professional qualifications or not. So, in the U.S., for example, I don't know what it is in the U.K. or Canada or Jamaica or neighbors, but in the U.S., for example, some students leave school 16, 17, some may leave school at 18, and they can go into the workforce, and as I said, historically in Cayman, or police force, for example, customs, most of the government law enforcement authorities were seen to be built off of our young Caymanians coming out of school, and that's where they aspired to go, to be a police officer, a prison officer, a customs officer, and those sort of positions, and they worked their way up and went into those senior positions. So, and of course we know our immigration policies is supposed to also be, and labor policies or laws are also supposed to be in place to allow Caymanians to do those same working their way up through positions. So I think it could be something to look at to increase the school leaving age, but I don't think necessarily that Caymanians cannot enter the workforce and not have experience, because there's no time to gain experience.
But don't you think that the work environment and the opportunities have changed considerably since, and there are still programs that are in place for persons to enter, like for instance you have the cadet corps, you have the after school programs, the summer internships and stuff like that will prepare people. But do you think that the job environment, the way it is now, that a 16 or 17-year-old is going to easily find a job out there?
Well, 16 and 17 probably. Well, I think our generations are much more mature than they used to be. And 16, maybe not, 17, going on 18, they are starting to really mature a lot better. I think what's happened, me personally, from what I hear and see in Cayman, I think what's happening is that our young people are getting more intimidated and discouraged from going into the workforce because of the immigration climate here in Cayman, and because of the labor climate. There's really not enough to protect our people getting into the workforce, and that's just my opinion based on what I've seen and read and heard. But I do believe some of those programs can support our young people, yes, and give them, that confidence. But the mere fact of saying, oh, we were not going to encourage you to apply for jobs because you're 17 and 18 and you may not have that experience or you may not have that confidence, is intimidating in and of itself to our young people, is discouraging. So I'm weighing the points that you just made and the previous caller, and I can easily relate to those. But at the same time, me as a person being out there and hearing a lot of young people talking, and I can say that we don't want to do something that may discourage our young people any more than they're already feeling right now. And I don't think her leaders, this is my personal opinion, I don't think her leaders are throwing themselves into the arena as much as they can to integrate with our young Caymanian job seekers, and even persons coming back from school can't find jobs. I mean, what's the sense in encouraging? They're now, I know I'm kind of going all over the place here, but we've now gone from encouraging our students to go to the U.S., which is closer for education, and which is traditionally where we have been educated, to going over to England because, quote unquote, it was said by members of government that it's cheaper to go to the UK for education. But we know realistically when you look at it on paper that's not true. So now we're even telling our young people, if you go to America, your credentials may not be as valuable as if you go to the UK. And
are we telling them that?
You know, sir?
Are we telling them that?
Well, I mean, that's what's being interpreted from what the feedback I've been given, and this by students and parents. You know, I can get a scholarship for my child to go to the UK, but and help towards tickets. But what happens for vacation? Some students don't want to go that far. For scholarships are being encouraged for students to go to the UK or those sorts of places, and not as much to the US. It's just my. Mm-hmm. I have statistics which may not be excessive, but just for example, I was just throwing those out there where. Mm-hmm. This is the disenchantment that people are feeling in the Cayman Islands, right? Mm-hmm. So those are things we have to look at, and we may not want to make these these young people or Caymanians who want to get into the workforce feel that you definitely have to have this experience, because getting education and coming back doesn't mean you're going to get an experience.
Excellent.
Through job
True.
corps,
So true.
you know.
Caller, I want to grab the next caller before we go to a commercial break.
No problem.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC.
Hey, good morning again. Good morning.
Jumping straight into it to save some time here, but I don't agree with most of what that lady said. And like I said, that's her opinion, and we all have those. I'm a graduate of the Cayman Islands High School and went into work at 16 years of age, and coincidentally, my first boss was the late Donovan Ebanks, who just passed, and one of the best people I've ever had. Even though I never worked directly underneath him, he always had words of encouragement, any and every young graduate there. But I never felt like a fish out of water more than when I was there. There's a maturity level. I was an annoyance to everybody, but for different reasons, and primarily because I just get, well, why do you do that? Why do you do that?
Yes.
Why do you do that? And there's a level of immaturity there, and there's a level of wanting to learn, and I was eagerly wanting to learn, but it annoyed the crap out of all of these senior people. And I could almost get the attitude of, like, I didn't come here to babysit young kids. I came here to work. So then I have a son who graduated at 18. I made sure he went to school that went all the way up to the age of 18, and I'm so glad that we, their mother and I are so glad that we did that.
Mm-hmm.
So we also have an epidemic here with mollycoddling children. I'm one of those that they need to understand life is what it is. So those are major issues, and come back to the main thing that I want to talk about, planning development here. I agree with Mr. Ebanks that there has to be a more robust. I think maybe the scope is too narrow, but I also will jump in and say that I think, despite how narrow a scope of whatever this group is putting together, it does not preclude us from putting in additional suggestions and information. And my personal position is a serious look at the planning policies on how applications are submitted, and that process in itself, which would help expedite any kind of process. I heard Lord Graham talking about how planning, does this and does that and does the other. I would like to point out, in defense of the planning, as much as they irk my soul sometimes, we have to give the devil the due. And the planning department follows a law that's handed to them. So they don't make up laws. They are given a book of laws, and we apply, or developers apply, for development under those stringent guidelines. So it is the members of parliament who are, and the bureaucrats who write these laws and puts them in based on lobbying and a development plan that should be continually revised every 5 years. We're developing at a rate so rapid now, it cannot be a 10-year review process. It has to be a 5 or even a continual one. So you're doing tweaks instead of massive changes. Because if it's not fair to say that none of us are perfect. So if we do a development plan here now and it's all buttoned up, and then we find that there's a major issue here, we're going to wait 10 years to change it. No. So it should even be a continual one. And the reports should come out at least a year before the next election for two reasons. We all know how politics works. Number one, it makes the existing politicians get the lead out and making sure that that's taken care of.
Mhm.
And number two, it gives the aspiring politicians ammunition with which to come out there and impetus to make that change and say, hey, if they're not doing it, we're going to do it for them. That kind of scenario. So those are the things that should happen there, but there needs to be a holistic framework. And also, too, this process here, let me just be clear, is like, while it's long overdue and definitely, everybody should take part in it, there's nothing precluding us from constantly writing to our representatives and the bureaucrats out there to say, hey, change this, change this. Because just like you said, we got enough people agitating for it. Then, you got 1-2 people crying out in the wilderness. Nobody's going to really pay attention to them unless it's something really out of the way. But if you got a whole bunch of people sending in little one-liners, so there almost needs to be like this website that they have with a portal that says, here, comments. Put in your comments, your bullet points. And as Lord Graham was saying, we as a people are not really collected in this, that, and the other. And I was like, that's no longer an excuse. We're no longer an island of time for God. We have to get with the times, because if you don't roll with the times going to roll over you.
That's so true.
And that's what we have to. We have to be harshly honest with ourselves as well as proactive. And so it's a holistic approach. I'm hoping, comes back to his point, who are we developing for? But we got to be careful when we say who we developing for, because at the same time, a lot of this development is driving our ability to earn an income. And so if we start slamming on brakes and everything else, there's a knock-on effect. And so
it has to be measured, whatever we do.
Yeah, next thing you know, you have a recession. Next thing you have unemployment, and who and what pays for that. And all of this is compounded by the fact that we have cheap access to labor. So when I graduated high school, yes, every company was willing to train me because there was not cheap labor out there. But the moment the market opened up and I saw it, that couple of decades later, and including my son, who went away with it and got a graduated with honors and a business management degree, and my daughter who went away and to some of the best universities and got their business degrees, and they've come back and they were actually offered salaries that were not even allow them to live on their own, and just because of rent costs. With university degrees, because cheap labor has stifled the pay scale, and as a result, we have this never-ending cycle. With that, I'll leave you there.
Thank you very much, caller. Very thoughtful message that you sent out there as well. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. And a caller on hold, Paul. None at this point in time. If you're interested in expressing your views, you may want to dial the number while we're at the commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
She hear clunk and our car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet, because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. I will read some of the comments that have been sent in, to us. One caller has, one writer actually earlier this morning has sent in about the Takata airbags and the faulty airbags and stuff like that. I hope that I will have opportunity to share that with our audience as well. Meanwhile, we're on another conversation. This person says, good morning. I agree with a lot of what, I agree with a lot of Lord Graham's points. Lord Graham, they say that you should run. He has such a valid contribution. So that's what one of our listeners think of you, Lord Graham. And what else? Do I have another one? Oh, here we go. Yes. Our friends over at Pioneer Bakery in Cayman Brack, and we know that they are listening, the staff over there. They listen to Radio Cayman every day. And so Pioneer Bakery, they are celebrating their 20th anniversary over in the Brack. So we want to wish them happy 20th anniversary. And they want to thank their amazing customers who have patronized and visited the bakery. They welcome all customers to our Customer Appreciation Day today. So they're having a Customer Appreciation Day today, Friday, the 7th of June, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Pioneer Bakery. That's in the Creek, Cayman Brack. I try to say that like the Brackers, not the Creek. In the Creek, Cayman Brack, as well, folks. Brackers, please forgive me for doing that. Please forgive me. They say, feel free to flood our social media with your favorite bakery goodies. We love them just as much as you do. So big shout out to Pioneer Bakery and their staff over there as well. So folks, as you know, that election time is in the UK as well. So their election, 4th of July, on a Thursday. And here is what the Labour Party plans to do if they are able to form the government. Whether or not they will have to do it in coalition or whether or not they will have outright majority, I'm not sure. But while they have been successful in the local elections, as well as filling some of the vacancies that were created, there are some pundits who believe that they're not going to make such a clean sweep in the general elections. But here's what they plan on doing. It says companies that refuse to comply with Labour's plans for training British workers could be blocked from sponsoring visas for overseas employees if the party wins the election. So in the UK, what the company does is they sponsor visas for overseas employees, unlike our work permit system that we have here in Cayman. Says that on Sunday, Labour set out how it would bring net migration down by reducing the need for foreign workers. Here in Cayman, that is extremely difficult. When we see that the figures probably 1,000 or more unemployed Caymanians, that doesn't necessarily mean that those Caymanians that are employed, that they're in the jobs that they would like to be in, or that they are, or maybe even some of them should be in as well. So our situation is slightly different here. But in the UK, they have plans to reduce the need for foreign workers. Says the party said that it would improve training for an initial 4 sectors, including health and social care, construction, engineering, and IT. More detailed plans seen by the BBC shows that Labour would make it more difficult to hire foreign workers in these roles if the sectors don't take, and I quote, sufficient steps to carry out workforce training. So, folks, it may happen in the mother country. Some may ask, why can't it happen in the Cayman Islands, even though our circumstances may be different? Those are my words, folks. A Labour government would also be able to refuse individual companies from sponsoring work visas if they believe the employer was not doing enough. The 4 named sectors would each have a workforce plan drawn up by the relevant government department. Those plans would detail how Labour believes that companies could best go about training up workers in Britain and reducing reliance on overseas employees. If ministers believed a sector was not engaging with the plan, then jobs within that industry would be removed from the shortage occupation list. People who work in jobs on the shortage occupation list are able to apply for a skilled worker visa to come and work in the United Kingdom. If the jobs were removed from the list, Labour says that companies would be required to recruit locally. A party source said that the plan would be very flexible and indicated there could be special opt-ins for well-performing companies if wider sectors are sanctioned. Folks, I'm going to stop there, but, you know, we had similar intentions here, some of which were put into effect and others that were not put into effect. For instance, our politicians refuse to categorize certain positions that would be reserved for Caymanians only, even though our Constitution allows us to do that. We refuse to do that here in the Cayman Islands. The mother country is doing it. Why can't we? We have callers. Let's grab one caller before we go to the commercial break. Call drop. So, Paul, let's take the commercial break now. That'll give them an opportunity to call back as well. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
So much happening so fast, too much. It is hard for me to follow my health care instructions. The private counseling with West Bay Pharmacy literally saved my life.
At West Bay Pharmacy, we know how complex medications can be. Our pharmacists are delighted to offer you personalized one-on-one healthcare counseling, free medication review, therapeutic callbacks, and we will liaise with your physician to ensure you receive the best in quality medical care.
Quality of life has a whole new meaning with the right pharmacy to support you. Thank you, West Bay Pharmacy.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner. Now you can WhatsApp your West Bay Pharmacy prescriptions to 516-0777. Celebrate Father's Day with Digicel. This Father's Day, give Dad the gift of better connectivity with Digicel. Switch Dad to Digicel and get 50% off the plan for the next 3 months. It's the perfect way to show your appreciation and keep Dad connected. Switching is easy. Visit your nearest Digicel store today. Don't miss out on this amazing deal. Make this Father's Day one to remember with Digicel. Better connected.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
Water Authority Cayman wishes to advise its customers of a planned service interruption and lane closure on Siberia Avenue area on Monday, 10th June to facilitate infrastructure maintenance in the area. Customers on Siberia Avenue will experience a service interruption between the hours of 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. A section of the northbound lane on Siberia Avenue will be closed from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Flagmen will be on site to direct traffic. The Water Authority appreciates the patience and understanding of its customers and the public as it upgrades its water infrastructure and apologizes for any inconvenience caused.
If you're a parent, you know that providing your child with a quality early childhood education can be expensive. However, the Ministry of Education offers financial assistance through its Early Childhood Assistance Program to help qualifying Caymanian families cover the costs at registered early childhood settings. Visit our online application portal at moeapplications.gov.ky to learn more and get started. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Education.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. If you plan on calling in, please do so now. Don't wait until 5 minutes before 10 o'clock and call in because you won't get a whole lot of time on air. No callers. Let's continue to share this article with you about what Labour plans to do in the UK. Why can't we do it here in the Cayman Islands? Is it because of what some of our callers suggest, that the silent minority has more clout than the vocal majority? Is that possible? Again, I will mention the fact that need for effective and robust campaign finance laws in the Cayman Islands as well. Two callers on hold. Let's grab the first caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning.
Hey, good morning. How art thou?
Good, OC, man. Good. I say I will listen about the planning business.
Mm-hmm.
The meetings. Well, you're having a meeting up here tomorrow. Ashton Rudder Center. Tomorrow the 8th, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. That been it's 7 o'clock till 9.
Mm-hmm.
No, I am wondering whether I should go to the meeting because I don't know if you listen to my campaign, but when I campaign, one of the serious things that I campaigned about, coming back and Little Cayman, we have no zoning.
Mm-hmm.
We have no planning board.
Mm-hmm.
We have a development and control board. That's a hell of a lot different from a planning board, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because from then you put the word control. That's a different ball game, okay? Now, OC, nothing in this world can be done right without a plan. You know? Even if you going fishing and you're going to crab, you got a plan, you know, you got to get your basket, your crocus sack, and your flashlight. You have to have a plan. You just can't say, well, I go to crab. Right? It's so simple. Now, OC, you were coming back a couple weeks ago, right?
Yes.
Now, you know, if you see when you drove around, there's garages that right alongside the road. There's cars, because people have to get their cars fixed. We know that. But Cayman Brac is growing. So my suggestion to them was, well, zoning was the biggest thing. And now my suggestion to them was we got a pile of land up on the bluff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe in making my little island look clean. Now, see, I suggested that the government give at least $10 a year for 90 years for the guys, the licensed garage owner there. Everybody get an acre of land, and you put down your little shade, whatever, because you got a 90-year lease on it. Okay? And now all of the vehicles that get in an accident or we taken off the road, you got a seam area there for that, and you got 30 days to strip it down, whatever part you can save. All of the garages on the island will be in that spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Because we got about five garages. Now, all of them would be on that spot. Now, if you go there and build alongside of that, well, that's your problem. You already know what's there. But when you got a garage springing up next door to you, this one, that is where the conflict starts. And the poor people, remember, it's the poor people that can start the war amongst each other, because you're not going and start no little garage down in Cayman Bay where the rich and elite is. That's not happening, right? So, since this is government for years that I have talked to. We need Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. We need zoning. The island is being developed now. It's not. Look at. I am talking about what it opening up these subdivision thing, brother. That's the beginning. I think that subdivision that they just opened up, I think 28 lots or something like that is already sold. Mm. You can't cut the land up fast enough that people not buying it. You understand?
You have to nip those new nuisances that you're talking about. You have to nip those in the bud. Otherwise, you end up with a serious problem later on.
Yeah, but now, listen to me now, my friend. All of those large tracts of land on the bluff and in East End, I hear my good brother there talking about the big tracts of land. Remember, all of those tracts of land belong to generational East Enders,
Mm-hmm.
Now, are they developing it? Look, if we ask, who are we developing for? Well, okay, remember, if it's your land, if me and you, from our father, grandfather, uncle, gave us 100 acres of land, and me and you say, you know what we're going to do? We're going to put a nice classes subdivision in here. We're going to keep some for farming. We're going to make sure, you got this. We're going to encourage, solar and farming thing.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Because now we still control the land. Now, when Joe Blow buy the piece of land, you can't tell him what to do with it now, because you got his paper and he got your land. Right?
Yep.
So he's selling it. He's not building who come live alongside of you, because he's not living there. He is not living there. He got his mansion somewhere else. His thing now is to make money. Right? So all of this that we talking, these meetings is a joke. I take it as a joke, because when you go, you can understand. I'm talking for a minute. Wait, a minute? That one cowboy movie. A minute to play in a second today. Listen, it's a joke. It's from that. And tell me something. Not one politician that run in Cayman Brac for the last 20 years. Miss Julie been there now 26. Not one word about zoning. Not one word has been mentioned about zoning. Why? Why? Because you know what? When they zone certain properties, it will make the poor people that own it, it will make the value of their land go up.
Mm.
That could be the only thing that stops it. I mean, I know I built houses on the south side. People to retirement houses, right? Big, nice houses. And you know the biggest fear that those people had? Right? I built my big retirement house, and somebody can come alongside of me and start a little garage or start a raised chicken, and I mean, there's no zoning, so you can't tell me that you got a $5 million house or $1 million house, and I got my little piece of land. Well, I built my little house. I got dropped 2 goats in.
So you're basically saying that Cayman Brac has to change with the times.
Yes, it needs change with the times. Listen, we have to change and change fast, really fast, because, hey, I talk to a lot of people, right? And this is the word on the street. Elvis, I hope you guys are ready, because Cayman Brac is bursting at the seams. It can burst at the seams. And I see it, years ago, people putting a subdivision, they might sell a lot. 4 or 5 years, sell to a lot, 1 a lot. It's not like that anymore, friend. And listen to me, every nationality that you can think about in the world is just like Grand, because it's only 15 minutes flight,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 30-minute flight from Grand Cayman, so it's not like we're in the wilderness, But these people that coming up to talk tomorrow night, I wonder if any of our representatives or anybody from Cayman Brac will be bringing up, or they will be bringing up the thing about zoning, because we talk about the overbuilding, but okay, we have to have zoning that you can say.
Well, maybe that's in the plan. Maybe there are plans for zoning requirements in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. That is why you should really. Well, number one, you want the document is fairly large, but people need to familiarize themselves with it. And number two, go to the meeting to see what is applicable to the Brac.
See, my brethren, with all due respect, I've been here from 1988. Remember, I've been in Georgetown 31 years,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so I see the same thing. Look here, I had the privilege of seeing the same thing. I know when Mayor Street where I raised up, I used to go to Miami for a week and leave my door open. I didn't have no key for my house, Mayor Street. Didn't have no key for the front door. I got an old screen door with a spring. That's what kept my house there. I didn't have right long, so I had bought it there. And I watched it change. And that was 88 when I left Cayman Brac. I still leave my house open, but I didn't dream that I would find somebody breaking into my house in Cayman Brac when I was here.
Mm.
I didn't dream that my liquor store and the hard water place where I grew up would be broken into 4 times, and nothing happened about it. Now, you got cameras, but I told the police, and I telling the public, because I don't mince my words. Those cameras that I installed there, my 7 cameras, is not to give police the evidence, It's for village, what we call village something justice. That when I
careful, you don't convict yourself on radio now. Don't say what you're going to do.
I can listen, and I'm telling it that anybody that broke into my place again, and I know who they is, I can figure out who they is. I will be paying you a visit to your house, and I don't care who is in your house. You don't worry about who my place is. So that's how the Cayman Brac got changed now. You understand? But anyhow, I might just go across to the meeting and
I would encourage you to.
Yeah, but see,
you got about 30 seconds left. 30 seconds.
Okay, but the beautiful part when you go to the meeting now, when
when somebody get up and start to talk something sensible, then you can find a fool come in and derail the whole thing. So I will get me discussing with the meeting. Then I won't use the word. Thank you, O.C. Thank you.
Yeah, and tell them, give you at least as much time to talk as we gave you here on For the Record this morning. They should use that as a measuring stick. How about that?
That sounds like a plan, brother. Sounds like a plan.
Take care. Stay safe up there as well. Folks, we've reached that time of the morning again. Extremely grateful for all of you who contributed to the discussion this morning, either by calling in, sending us WhatsApp messages, or otherwise. Extremely grateful. Let me see, some persons have made some comments. I'll share them with you before we go. This person says, Mr. Elvis has some excellent points. And earlier, they were talking about the sad story on Dr. Martinez's death, and the many coincidences that happened in her death. Airbag issue is serious and worth mentioning on the show. And then they had some suggestions in relation to what needs to be done in terms of the inspection of vehicles, what Port Authority's responsibility should be, what the Department of Vehicle and Driver's Licensing should be as well. So I want to thank that writer. This person says, they were saying that they hope they didn't come across as disrespectful to the caller before. No, not at all. And it's they say that it is never their intention. And no, person wasn't. I don't think that you were being disrespectful, at all. And if you were, I would have called you out on it as well. So I want to thank everyone who participated. I want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are. I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Pioneer Bakery people, enjoy your 20th anniversary. Join Miss Catherine Tyson. I'm going to call her by the name that I know, even though it's changed somewhat. Catherine Tyson Sewell. Join her at 12:15. She's filling in for Sterling Dwayne Ebanks on Talk today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice.
Information, entertainment, inspiration.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac.
Since 1976 till now.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.